We've done a huge amount of work over 12 years with various partner schools in Cambridge, particularly with St Bede's Interchurch School. I've worked with 3 different heads over 12 years on a huge variety of different projects. One of the main projects that we've been working on is with the teaching of classical Greek. We're aware that many schools aren't able to fund classics teaching, and so for about 8 years now we have been able to support students with their GCSE in order that they have an additional subject that they can then go on and study at other sixth forms.
As a state school, clearly finances are often limited, and the range of courses that we'd like to be able to offer our students isn't quite as extensive as perhaps we'd be able to if money was no object. And we've benefited hugely from being able to form a partnership with St Mary's Independent, where our students have been able to take part in lessons in languages in particular that we wouldn't normally be able to provide.
Every week we come over from St Bede's after school on a Wednesday for an hour and a half of Greek with the St Mary's teachers and some of the students.
I really enjoy doing it because it's helped me in my other subjects and it makes me look at things differently.
And when I did, I really enjoyed it and I found that it was really, really interesting.
So for 12 years we have put on a day for students in Year 11 and Year 12 from a series of local state schools with the GSA, the Girls' School Association in the East region, to inspire girls to continue taking science at the next step. Many schools often talk about the challenges of setting up relationships with other schools. We have had it very, very easy because we found a school with a very, very similar ethos to St Mary's. I think one of the things we're trying to do now is to make sure that what works well with one school can be rolled out carefully to other schools. So we're doing quite a lot of work now with the Royal Society of Engineering, with our junior school.
Outreach for us is working with state primary schools. There's a real push to teach STEM in state primary schools at the moment, and there's lots of resources out there. But it's a very early stage, and state primaries often don't have the expertise or the confidence or just the staffing levels to do this. So that's where we feel we can come in and we can help.
So STEM education is something which has been very much at the forefront of people's thinking, both in the independent sector and the state schools sector, as there's a shortage of people going into those professions in the UK. St Mary's, being a girls' school, is particularly keen in promoting girls going into engineering and other STEM-related subjects, and we've been able to join forces through some of the national campaigns to be able to take part and compete against one another in these opportunities.
We really strongly believe that our approach to STEM is unique and groundbreaking because we're teaching girls only STEM, promoting engineering with young women from 4 years old. And the approach is not about an amazing final piece, but actually it's about the skills that you need to get to that final piece, which is key if you want to be a great team player and an employable person when you become an adult.
The collaboration is genuinely an equal partnership. For our girls, they enjoy having a wider variety of students in their group. It allows for them to have a variety of viewpoint and to be able to discuss the topics much more generally. Obviously, for the students from the other school, if we weren't offering the class, they wouldn't have that provision put in. With regard to the science work, our older students really enjoy being able to work with the younger students in the laboratories. And we have older students from years 10, 11, 12 and 13 working with students from the primary schools. These are girls who would like to go into careers in science, and they find it absolutely delightful and fascinating working with younger students who are so enthusiastic to be able to experience what it's like to be in a lab. I think it's very important, bearing in mind that so many children are educated in the state sector, that one is aware of what is going on for those 93%, and therefore collaboration across schools is vital. For me, part of my outreach philosophy is sustainability, and the sense of abiding with the community is that I've been doing this quietly but securely for the last 12 years. So that, I think, is a good example of sustainability.